I'm proud of my son. This is a kid who got, not a kid, he's a grown man. He got hooked on, like many families have had happen, hooked on drugs. He's overcome that.
President Biden got just one question about his embattled son in a recent interview, and critics say it's just the latest example of the media's weak coverage of Hunter Biden. This, despite revelations the FBI believes there's enough evidence to charge him with tax and gun crimes. Jon Levine is a reporter at the New York Post. It's good to see you. Major network coverage of Hunter Biden the last 7 days, 0, 0, 0. So that's like consistent across the board. And then Phil Griffin of NBC and Jeff Zucker, formerly of CNN, did some interviews this weekend, or not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. And they were asked about this. And let's take a listen to what Phil Griffin said.
He was never arrested. The Justice Department was looking into it, never reported it until he is. He's the son of a candidate. I don't think it's a main story until that happens.
The thing about that for me is that there's a lot of people who are never arrested but are investigated nonstop, and especially if you think about that meeting with the Russian lady at the Trump Tower.
Right, never arrested.
Never arrested.
I think he's being knowingly disingenuous because we all know that's not the standard.
Right.
His network subjected this country to years of Russiagate reporting. And before there were any arrests in connection with that case. And that was all based on the Steele dossier, which, as we know, was bogus. It was junk. Whereas with Hunter, this is a real story. The hard drive was real. The charges he's facing are real. And the national security implications for our country are real as well. So it's for the media to ignore it before the election was a complete dereliction of duty, and we're all paying the price now.
There seemed to be some regret in that conversation by some of them, too. But that's hindsight, right? That's in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
However, the New York Times had a tweet this weekend. There's a big Senate race in Wisconsin. Mandela Barnes, 35-year-old lieutenant governor from Milwaukee. Ron Johnson's won 2 really close elections there. He's trying to win a third. Here was the tweet before the debate. Senator Johnson, a leading peddler of misinformation, will debate the Lieutenant Governor Barnes, a liberal Democrat who's been touted as one of the party's rising stars. The two will debate at 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, I saw this going around, and I actually have to kind of laugh because it's just so over the top. And I mean, like, it's not news to anyone that the New York Times is partisan, but you really, I would say a month before an election, you really see the mask come off, not just at the Times, at a lot of places, because they really, that's where the rubber meets the road, and they need to make it clear to their audience, okay, here are the good guys, here are the bad guys. No more pretenses.
I didn't see any tweet from the New York Times about Mandela Barnes and appearing on Russia television so many times to basically say that the police are bad.
Of course not. And it's completely outrageous to say that Ron Johnson's a peddler of misinformation. He actually happens to be one of the leading senators pursuing questions on the Hunter Biden probe. So he's been doing very important, often very unsexy work on that subject.
And also the origins of COVID.
Absolutely.
John, it's very interesting how you characterize that, about how media companies are trying to tell their viewers or their readers who's the good who are the good guys, who are the bad guys.
Right.
You see that a lot.
Right. I mean, generally the New York Times is trying to keep up pretenses, but right before an election, we saw this in 2020 as well. Here's who's good, here's who's bad, here's who you need to vote for, here's who's, the bad guy, and that's it. And there's no time for pretenses.
So the obligation of the viewer or the reader is to go ahead and recognize it.
Yeah.
So you understand it yourself.
Well, thankfully, I think anyone looking at that tweet can see,
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Rising star.
The mask is off.
Cool. John, nice to see you. Thanks
Sunday night Twitter feeds at a newspaper, not ever really good. Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.